breathe. I kept stopping. I had mucus in my lungs, and I was taking all these antibiotics. I was just telling her all this medication I was taking from the hospital. She put together a concoction for me of herbs. And do you remember what you gave me?
Mullein.
Yeah.
Some
She gave me so many.
sea moss.
Okay.
And also, if there was something else.
It's gonna come. But she gave me all these herbs to put together a tea. And we were on the phone. She goes, I want you to take this. I'm telling you, as soon as I took these herbs, I did not need that.
You could feel it immediately.
Everything came up.
Moringa.
Everything came up. I couldn't, like, the medication is still probably sitting in my cabinet. I would never touch that medicine again. But that's another reason. It's just the way I felt so much better versus the medication I was being given.
No side effects.
No.
Yeah.
Those
Exactly.
I was able to walk again,
Yeah.
eat again, teach
She
again.
couldn't walk up the stairs.
Couldn't walk up the steps. That's how terrible it was.
Yeah.
So,
Absolutely.
yeah. So
Yeah. Thank you for sharing. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. I was like, I was gonna try to respond to everyone, but we'll pop back in at the end. So yeah.
Hi everybody, I'm Jazz. Let's see. Okay, I think my very first herb experience would be just like growing up. My parents had like huge, like terracotta pots, like the giant ones of perennial herbs outside, and I remember like as a kid always like touching and smelling and feeling and stuff like that. But that was really it. And then a few years ago, I was on the pill, birth control, and I looked at the side effects one day and I was like, man, like this is not okay. Like this is not right. So 2 years ago, I decided to go off birth control. And I was on it for 10 years, as every doctor prescribes it.
Yeah.
As, you know,
Sure.
the cure-all, because I had a heavy period when I was 16 when I first got it or something, you know, and right away on it because it was irregular. So I've been on it for 10 years for no reason really, and so I decided to go off it. And that's when I started to learn a little bit more about herbs and everything, like red raspberry leaf, and things like that. And there's so little that I know, and so much more that I'm excited to learn about. But because I've definitely been wanting to get more in touch with my hormones and like live my, you know, try and live my life through my cycle and like learn about that, because I have no idea. I don't know any.
Sure.
Like you go, they don't teach you anything like that.
No, yeah.
All birth control, it's all, you don't, it's not real. It's like,
Yeah.
you know. So after that's when I started to like want to try and using supplemental things instead of anything like that. And get my like hormones regulated, because that was crazy. Like when I went off like a year of craziness of hormonal, like losing my hair and hot flashes, like it was like I was like, this is crazy just going off of it.
Wow.
What happens? And like now that I do get my period, it's like insanely different from when I did on birth control. It's like it's a totally different experience, and I'm very excited to get in touch with like that divine femininity part of everything, and supplement that through herbs and everything. So so yeah, I'm like so excited to keep learning and everything.
Nice. Well, thank you for that. Yeah.
Thank you.
And then last but not least.
Hello everyone, my name is LaShawn. I don't have any herbal stories. I have had I bought some nuts from Target the other day and they had lavender on them.
Oh, okay. No, that's good.
I bought
Shoot.
some cashews, and I drink the hibiscus tea, but I haven't had straight herbal.
Sure.
I had it in a box.
Yeah, that counts.
So my interest is in, because my husband has lupus and he takes all these medicines and nothing seems to be working. So I want to try to, if I can learn more about herbs, him supplementing or taking something alternatively than what he's taking to help him with his lupus. And then I'm struggling with hot flashes. So I wanted to know if it was something
Absolutely.
that I don't have to go to the doctor and ask for a prescription, or I just something that I could do for it's like myself, what I can find out for myself educate myself about and then get it and use it for myself.
Yeah, no, thank you for that. Yeah, that's very valid. I think that herbs as flavor is a very valid way to experience herbs. And yeah, thank you everyone for your stories. I knew this was going to be really interesting. And just to sort of comment on everything that we're hearing, like, I think one thing about me that I got into mutual aid apothecaries is just this, you know, like our tradition and community of herbs, like how herbs can help us be better and very quickly, sort of like you were saying with that. I have multiple sclerosis, which is an autoimmune disorder, and it's very new for me. Like I was diagnosed maybe 2 years ago, and so in that process, navigating my new body and all the medications, I got even closer with herbs. And yes, the thing about sort of herbs being more bioavailable, which is why they can kick in very quickly. I like to give a disclaimer that, you know, try something for 2 weeks before, you know, you can really feel it, but sometimes you can absolutely feel it almost immediately. As you were saying about drinking the tea like soda, right? I think that is a much more natural way that we should be in community with herbs in general. Herbs actually help us hydrate. So when we're drinking water, we're getting more hydrated if we drink it with herbs. And there's, you know, I'm not sure if y'all have heard about like the blue zones or these areas where people live to be more than 100. One of the common factors is like people are drinking tea all day long, like all day long. And you know, that sort of gives us that the vitamins that you're saying, right? And you know, hibiscus also, interestingly enough, is really great for mood health. So it actually has the same profile as wine. You know, chemically, it mimics orchard grapes. And so when you drink a medicinal level of hibiscus, which would be like 4 tea bags, you can actually feel that relaxation come over you very, very quickly. When you do drink hibiscus at the medicinal dose, it's very bitter. So, you know, we flavor it with other things, other spices, but like around 2 grams, which is this a three-finger pinch is 1 gram. So 2 of those is the medicinal thing of hibiscus. For most herbs, it's going to typically be 1 or 2 pinches to be that. And in my tradition of herbalism, we learn with our hands too. So 3 fingers is 1 gram, 2 fingers is like a teaspoon. So that's just a fun little thing you can do.
In how much water?
I would do like 2 grams and 8 ounces of water. So for 1 cup.
That's highly concentrated.
It's yeah, and like that's also a thing. Like when we drink teas, they're not concentrated. From the grocery store, it's not concentrated at all, so we're not really getting that medicinal benefit. Great. So then to jump off officially into our class today, I started with a quote. Okay. Well, the quote was from a woman named Oshella Harris, captured in the book Working the Roots by Michelle E. Lee. The quote is, "My mother didn't carry us to no doctor." And this book has a collection of you know, folks who were first or second generation out of slavery talking about their medicinal roots. African American slave medicine is also a great book to hear these firsthand accounts. And I wanted to include this here because you know, like we were hearing in the other presentation, herbal knowledge is sort of just part of everyone's knowledge. You know, like if you have a body, you can know how to take care of it. Herbalism for me helps me get sensitive to myself, to really feel what I'm feeling in the moment, to then look for an herbal ally to help me with. So it really does empower us that way. Okay, great. So let's get into the herbalism. What we're going to be doing today is making an oxymel. I have prepared a few different honeys and some vinegars here. But before we do that, I wanted to hear maybe what you guys are looking for more support with. I heard menopause, but if anyone has any other things, please just call it out. Sleep, stress, or hormones. Okay. Okay, blood. Iron, okay. Iron, arthritis. Weight. Okay, great. And then mental wellness, I heard too. Awesome. Beauty products, yes. Topicals, right? Okay, great.
Yes. Blood building.
Blood building.
Sickle cell anemia.
Anemia, Wow, awesome. I'm like, this could be a whole nother class, y'all. But yes, Oh, great.
May I interject real quick?
Yeah.
At 11:45, if you could just bring your class to the elevator.
Sure.
We'll be going down to the basement to tour the hydroponics
Okay,
lab.
great, perfect. Let me set a little timer for myself. 20 minutes, okay. I had to do this, or I will not stop talking. I love plants. Great. Okay, so also just really quickly, thank you for all of y'all's like vulnerability. I know talking about our health is really, we don't do it a lot. It's a new thing. I found even with working with clients, it's like very intimate spaces. So just thanks to everyone sharing your vulnerability with me. So yeah, great. So the oxymol, we're making an oxymol, which comes from the Greek oxy, which means sharp and acidic, and meli, which means honey. You know, there's a lot of different benefits of honey and vinegar as that solvent, which is, you know, what we're putting the herbs into. And basically each solvent extracts different things. So water extracts the most, fun fact, I love that too. The most accessible thing extracts the most. But honey also has water in it, so it can do that, as well as extract lipid-soluble compounds, so things that would be good for fat. Like creams, beeswax, lotion, right? Like, so qualities that we would want for our skin are actually great for honey, because we can use honey on our skin too. So for topicals, I would absolutely put like maybe calendula or something in honey and then make that into like a cream for my face or something. So honey is really wonderful for that. Honey is also antimicrobial, which is also why it's great for skin. And because of its high sugar content, it's what we call hygroscopic, which means that it attracts water and basically will dry out bacteria. So it's, it's very, you know, we hear stories about honey being preserved for hundreds of years, and this is why, because it will kill bacteria and preserve itself. Honey has an acidic pH, so you know that can also be thought of when you're working topically or even in a food you're making. But that also suppresses microbial growth. And honey is also a wound healer. A lot of different herbs you hear as wound healers, but like, for example, like yarrow is really great for any wound you have, bug bites, that sort of thing. But sometimes herbs will close the wound too quickly. They'll work too fast. And so then the inside of your wound is not actually healed. So yeah, that's one thing to look at. Yeah.
What's in Manuka honey that's so amazing?
Yeah. Yeah.
Tell me about it.
Another good question.
Yes. Okay, great question. The location of the honey, yes, can impact the qualities of the honey. So basically, whatever the bees are getting from will give that quality into the honey, which is also why people say local honey is good for you, because it has the allergens that are in the air. Exactly, right? So if you're eating honey from local bees, you're actually treating yourself against those allergens. So Manuka honey, just the bees are taking from so many medicinal specific plants. So yes, exactly, yeah. So that's why it's a little bit more expensive. However, if you, you know, maybe a little more expensive than that. However, if you have your own hive, or you know about the local honeys here, like Philly Bee Guild gives out a lot of free honey, and you can sort of check out their different sites. But they have one site that is only lavender plants. So that honey is a little more expensive too, but yeah, oh, it's so good. Bee Guild. Yeah, Philly Bee Guild. I call them Philly Bee Co., but they're a guild. And usually if you email them, they'll give you honey for free. So yeah, back to the wound healing thing about honey. Honey, you can actually put honey on an open wound, on a deep wound, because it will call, what does it do? It contains glucose oxides, which basically calls our immune cells to a spot. It'll create hydrogen peroxide, which is really good for wounds in general, but honey can heal very deep wounds because of this ability to prompt our immune system to heal itself. Any raw honey.
Just put raw, like straight up on?
Yep.
Wow.
Any raw honey. That's straight up. And that's important because I heard someone talking about it earlier. When we heat honey, we're actually killing the enzymes in honey. So if we just want to make like a tasty thing with, or just something with only like, if I'm making a lavender honey and I just want the lavender benefits, I could heat that up. But if I also wanted the enzymes in the honey, I wouldn't do that. I would just let it go.
Like, a lot of my honey gets hard.
Yeah.
And I use it consistently, but it's still get hard, and I've always just set it in water.
Yep.
That's heating.
As long as it doesn't boil. As long as the honey does not boil. Yeah.
Instead of putting it directly in the pan, continue to just sit it in hot water.
Sit in hot water. Yep. A double boiler like you're doing is the best way to do it. You can also make sure that the water itself doesn't get to a rolling boil, and just let it go slowly. I'll put it in my crock pot at like the warm setting for like an hour or so, and then it'll get more liquid.
So if you're using the tea and honey, honey and tea, as long as the water isn't like boiling when you put it in, you're still getting those enzymes.
Exactly. Yep.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. So then we're gonna make an ox mold today. Oh, does anyone have any questions about honey? No? Okay. Well, another type of preparation for honey is called an electuary, which is a powder and honey. So if you powdered your herbs and then put the honey, mix it together, then you can sort of use that as like a peanut butter spread or something like that. Like just something tasty, because it gets a little thicker and the texture is a little weird if you're not used to it. But honey paste is also a very traditional one, and that's also how we would do the wounds. So if I wanted herbs in my wound healing, I would mix it with powder and then put it on. Great. So then some popular honeys, and I have this on your sheet. The nervine herbs. Do you see? I think it's on page 1. Yeah, page 1 still. Popular herbs for honey infusions. Nervines. So nervines are herbs that target the nervous system. So they are herbs that soothe, calm, focus, and support the nervous system function. There's 2 types of nervines, like stimulant nervines and relaxing nervines. So for the relaxing ones, I'd recommend rose, and then everything else is kind of a mix. So, lavender is the more relaxing one, and then rose, chamomile, and catnip are all gentle enough for you to take during the day. And also, like real talk, I personally have been struggling with like anxiety and depression. And so when you're on the level of like chronic anxiety and depression, you can typically take lavender during the day and you won't go to sleep. It'll just sort of calm you down. And then we have respiratory herbs. We've been mentioning garlic, onion, but white pine's one of my favorite, osha and thyme. Mullein. Oh my God, did I not say mullein?
What is mullein? I keep hearing you talk about it.
Yeah. That's what, yep.
Keep a container in the refrigerator. He said, I haven't used mine.
I don't use mine either.
No.
I don't use mine.
Absolutely. No, mullein is on page.
It's an expectorant.
Yes, it's expectorant.
It brings the mucus
Yeah.
from the bronchia.
Yep.
Lungs. It dries it up.
It dries it up. On page 4, you'll actually see I made a breathe easy honey, and it is hyssop and mullein.
Is that for sinus?
Yes, exactly. So,
Wait a minute, excuse me, I had Mark. Mark is having a sinus attack right now.
oh, sure.
I brought him back here. Not Ted.
Yeah. Hello. Hi. Oh, please, you're fine. So yeah, you'll see the different properties. Exactly, lemon, right? But mullein is one of my favorite herbs because it's soft. I was going to bring some, but it's super great for respiratory health because it actually creates more mucus, which will dislodge the phlegm. So it stimulates the lung system as well. Yes, the leaves are better for your lungs.
They're bitter.
Yeah. Yeah.
I had a question.
Yeah,
You
go for
give
it.
this to a child. How do you make it so they'll take it?
You make it palatable. You taste it until it tastes good.
You can add honey to it. Add honey. Or either agave.
Well, agave, yeah.
Mark, this is Mark, everybody.
Hello.
Hey, Mark, how you
Sinuses
doing,
is
Mark?
acting up. So can we help him?
Yes, yeah. We'll be making a product in just a second after we finish it. Yeah. Yes.
Cascara.
In the cascara, yeah. I really wanted to quickly say, honey is not recommended for infants. For children who are, I would say, under like 2 years. Yeah. And so, and it's just because of those enzymes that we're talking about that their systems aren't prepared for. So when we're using herbs for children, we actually use baths. For little kids, right? So I would, a bath. So I would make a tea of chamomile and mullein and then put that in my baby's water and then wash them in that. Yes, because the skin is our biggest organ. And yes, exactly. So yeah, let me quickly go through because I think we're going to.
We need 2 hours.
We do need 2 hours. I didn't realize. Yes, I would love to. I would love to. Yeah.
By popular demand.
Yes, thank you all.
Yeah, we can do the SLA.
Yeah.
We can,
Yeah.
we can have you run the SLA.
Yeah.
Okay, I would love that. I would love that. Yeah. 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 Okay. I'm going to quickly go over vinegars really quickly. And vinegar is sort of like, well, it's vinegar. Everyone knows what vinegar is. But in terms of, yes, would you like one? Oh, you're fine. You're fine. Here we go.
There we go.
Yeah.
I shared the vinegar story with Yaya. Yes.
And so vinegar is the step beyond wine. So when we ferment something and it becomes sort of alcoholic, then we let it go even further and it becomes vinegar. Yeah. Vinegar is one of the oldest medicinal solvents. It dates back like hundreds, if not thousands of years. One of my favorite herbalists, Mrs. Emma Dupree, she passed away in the 70s at 100 years old, so 1870 to 1970. She uses sugar, lemon, and vinegar, and that's it. Because sugar also takes medicine out of the herbs. And vinegar is so amazing because it can be used on the skin, it can be used internally, and it, I would say traditionally way of administering herbs dating back to Hippocrates, but it is used for, sorry, I'm getting a little lost, but whatever. Thank you.
That's where the old cliche comes from, an apple a day.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then historically, vinegar was used for respiratory, kidney, and the skin. So vinegar is really awesome because it's actually excreted in our body by the lungs and the kidneys. Yes. So when we're focusing on those areas, if we want to make a medicine that targets that, I would use vinegar because vinegar is actually going to go straight there. And yes. So then we talked about an expectorant, and vinegar is in itself its own expectorant, which is also sort of amazing. So also good for lung health. An expectorant is a type of cough medicine that helps clear mucus from the airway. It's a respiratory medicine. The acid that's in vinegar is also a diuretic, which is why it's great for the kidneys, and a diaphoretic, which means that it can help deal with sweat. So if you're having like heat flashes or cold sweats, any type of sweat, a vinegar preparation will help bring it back down, regardless of the herb, which is sort of fascinating. Vinegar.
Alkaline properties.
Yes. Yeah.
Which we do have our alkaline water.
We do. That's great. Yep. And so, exactly. So alkaloids protect plants from danger. So vinegar itself is alkaloidal, and we can just take that for ourselves. And then lastly, vinegar extracts minerals. Not anything else really extracts minerals. Water doesn't really extract minerals. It does on a base level, but vinegar does way, way more. And for this reason, you can actually put eggshells in your vinegar for calcium. It's, you strain it out, but it'll break down the calcium in eggshells, which is a super, I think that's such a wild fact.
Eggshells in.
Sure, sure, sure. 2 to 4 weeks.
2 to 4 weeks.
Yeah, at the baseline.
Like, you don't have to do any heating, right? You just put it in.
This is making your own vinegar.
Oh,
With the
making-
apples. Yeah. With your
Yes.
organic apple.
Uh-huh.
Just put the calcium, I mean the eggshells in it.
2 to 4 weeks at least.
2 to 4 weeks.
If you are doing it just with like a bottle of Bragg's or something, this the same time. Not Bragg's. Sorry, my bad. We're not using Bragg's anymore. We're not using Bragg's anymore.
Wrong with Bragg? Katy Perry bought Bragg.
They support that
And
GMO.
they are
Yeah.
getting their apples from Bill Gates.
Yeah, that's GMO.
Yeah.
So they're, yes, they're modified, yeah.
Yeah.
We need organic.
Oh no. Okay.
It is now.
Yeah. Okay. No. It's okay. It's fine. Thank you. Okay. Great. So we talked about mineral-rich herbs. Sorry. Let me see. So yeah, page 2 of your thing is about vinegar-rich herbs. Yeah, right there. Perfect. Thank you. And so some other mineral-rich herbs, if you wanted, would be nettle, alfalfa, horsetail, red clover, and oat straw. So if you're making vinegars and you want more minerals, I would use those. And then you can see the other ones, respiratory and aromatic.
Now, what is the vinegar recipe?
Yes, so, yes, it is. It is. It's a, yes. Yes, I would do like just like cut open a vinegar, or sorry, a lemon. Yeah. Oh, the recipe for actual vinegar? It's not on this, but it is really just like apples and just sort of like let it go. You can use water sometimes, but I've seen it just people using the apple juice, apple core, apple skin, and you just sort of let it sit in a dark place. You don't want it in the sun, and then in like a month or two you'll get vinegar, and you'll know because it'll smell like vinegar. And yeah, vinegar is it's a preservative, so it won't actually expire, so it's very safe. So you can taste it along the way. You might taste it when it's still wine, but let it go a little further than that.
Take her advice and maybe put some wine in mine
Yes.
this time.
Yeah. Okay, great. So the last activity I had for us was to make an oxmal, actually. I think we're maybe running out of time, so if you want to, you can make it, or I will make it during this next one and then just drop it off to you guys. But yeah, I'll show you guys. I'll show you. We can come up here if you want. Yes. I know, that's why I'm like, let me just tidy up real quick. Yeah, thank you. Appreciate you. I know, herbalism always does that. It's like very, very quick. So I'm gonna make this preparation for myself. When we're making herbal medicine, it's always great to use gloves and masks, right, when we're making for other people. But since this is just for ourselves, I think we're okay. So I have 3 different types of honey that I've made for everyone, and this is on the last sheet of your worksheet. Sorry, I prepared too many sheets. Here we go. This one here. So, for instance, we have our mullein and hyssop honey, which is going to be great for respiratory support. And oh no, my vinegar. And then we have a lavender passiflora honey, which is going to be great for rest, relaxation, mental health support.
Menopause?
Yes, menopause. And then the rose honey is also going to be great for menopause, mental wellness support, and digestion. Rose is a great herb for digestion.
So I'm sorry, for the honeys, are these infused with those herbs?
Yes,
Okay.
yes. I have done the hard work of infusing.
Okay, not just the bees.
No. Oh my God, I don't have the budget. I don't have the budget. I don't have the budget right now.
How do you know what portions to use of each?
Yes, so the portion for oxymals is 2 to 1 or 1 to 1 honey to vinegar. 1 part honey to 1 part vinegar. Okay. If we are making the honey itself, the ratio is 1 part herbs, 3 parts honey. So that's how we would make a honey. If we're making a vinegar, the ratio is 1 part herb, 2 part honey. This is all on your worksheet. Okay. Don't worry. And so I have also created 2 different types of vinegar for you guys.
Did you put your recipe down for the lemon balm vinegar?
Yes. Yes, I think so. Or, well, I didn't. I put these in the herbal vinegars right here.
Okay.
So milky oats and lemon balm and just sort of the properties of each two. But the recipe for the vinegars is actually going to be in the section. Here we go. See, recipe 1 part honey. Oh, typo. So that should say vinegar. Oh, 1 part herb, 2 part vinegar. Okay, great. No typo. Perfect.
All right.
But again, I can also like give y'all my email and we can like talk about it as well.
Right, we were supposed to do that sheet. So
Yes. Oh, here's the sheet. LOL. Okay. Well, we'll start it soon. So then I have made 2 different types of herbal infused vinegar for us. The first is it's our time. Oh, we have 2 minutes. Great. The first is milky oats. Milky oats has been very restorative for me. I have an autoimmune disorder that attacks my nerves, and milky oats is actually a neuro restorative, so it actually will help the physical nerve itself, which is great. So arthritis, I was hearing, any sort of inflammatory condition where the nerves themselves need a little support, I would absolutely do milky oats. Milky oats is also super relaxing, and so it calms me down, which is really beautiful. Lemon balm is our other vinegar here today. Lemon balm is great for so many things. But I think about it with digestion and allergies personally. And so I make one that's called like a Breathe Easy Oxmel. And so I would do the mullein and lemon balm for that one. And yes, right? Yeah, so that's a Breathe Easy.
Yeah.
Yes, and then let me see. So then lavender passiflora, that's really great. I would put it with milky oats if I wanted something more relaxing. And then lemon balm if I was wanting something more so like supportive, like for menopause, hot flashes, that would be great, these 2 together. Rose is beautiful and whatever you're gonna use. And so yeah, so basically I got these little cups that have ounces on them and stuff. So what we were gonna do is everyone gets a little stick thing, and we can choose what honey and what vinegar, and then we are going to take home a little tincture. Yeah, so I'll make these for y'all in the next when you're in the next one. But let me see. So
I want to try the rose honey.
Okay.
But not the vinegar.
Okay, just the honey. Okay, great. Yeah, well then maybe you can just taste it, because I don't feel like we should put it in there. Yeah. Okay, great.
How am I tasting unless you put it on?
Put it in a cup.
Yeah, but I'll give you one of these things. Yeah, I have a little honey stir.
That's what I want, the little stick.
Yeah, well, you can have 2. You can have 2. So great. Oh, that is the rose. Yeah, okay. We'll do that real quickly then, and then I'll demonstrate. Yeah.
I love honey. I'll eat it by the spoonful.
Yeah, same. And that's the best way to do it, because then you don't burn it or anything. Sorry. There you are.
Enjoy.
Of course. I guess if someone wants to have some honey to take home instead, that's also fine. So let's just, I'm going to use my example honey. Thank you. Philly Orchard Project.
Do you get that rose in there when you taste it? Oh, that's so good.
Wow,
Yes,
that's awesome.
exactly. Pop.
Okay,
Yeah.
you need the mullet.
Okay, great. So,
If you're interested, you can add your name in.
Do you have to mix everything with the vinegar? Or do you just have it by itself?
you could have it by itself if you want. I'm just demonstrating this type of preparation,
Okay.
which is a vinegar preparation.
I need milk straw and this one. Copy.
And then you can take the dropper off.
Nice.
Thank you. Herbalism is just confidence in pouring. So for this, it's a 1-to-1 ratio. So I have 1 ounce of honey, 1 ounce of vinegar, mix them together.
Is it difficult to combine the 2?
No.
Give it a stir.
Yeah. We're gonna stir. Give them a little stir. It'll dissolve in a little bit.
Are we putting this in tea, or are we just taking it by the droplet?
Whatever you would like. I would put it in fizzy water personally, because it's kind of like a lemonade. It's a fake lemonade. And back in the day, this was also called a switchel. So people who were out in the fields doing agriculture work would have these little tinctures and some water, and it would keep them incredibly hydrated throughout the day.
Yes, the little nutrients that's in it.
Yep. So then,
That's good. That's good. Okay.
I can maybe make this a better action shot if y'all are taking photos.
Doing good, looking good.
Thank you.
Which one
I
was
know,
that?
perfect too.
Oh, thank you.
Which one was that?
This one is,
Milky oat.
yeah, milky oats and and the rose.
Keeps you hydrated?
Yes, vinegar will keep you hydrated in general.
So you put a couple drops of that in your water.
Or under your tongue, yep.
Okay, all right.
Water to help you with the hydration, but you can just put it under your tongue if you have it, if you need to.
Would you mix with either fizzy water or water?
I would do 2 dropperfuls
Okay, for any type of.
for like 8 to 16 ounces of water.
You don't make your own vinegar. Can you buy the vinegar from the store?
Oh yeah.
So
That's what I do.
Then what should we be buying if we're not making it ourselves?
Other vinegars. I can maybe send y'all a thing. So, okay, great. Yes. So we can if y'all want to go downstairs and start, you could maybe write down which ones you want, and I'll make it for
I
you.
can take us downstairs. I know what's going on.
Okay, great. Perfect. So then we would label it.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
On the side.
Okay, great, perfect.
I'll write my.
Yeah, let's do that.
I'll write it on
That'll be
the
easier
side.
for everyone. Writing what